Well, Russell calmed us down, made a couple of big shots. Um, I like Brad's attacks. I really like Brad's attack. I thought he could have easily gotten to the free throw line. But we played hard. We played hard. It's nice having everybody back. It gives you the best chance, and you have all kinds of options. When you have that, we can compete against anybody, and that's the great thing about it. Now we just have to stay healthy and keep it consistent throughout the remaining games of the season.
And Brad played 37 minutes after you said he would be on a minutes restriction. At what point does he say, no, leave me in? Or do you say, if you feel good enough, you can keep going?
About 4 minutes into the game, he said, I could play more. I could play more. I'm thinking to myself, really? We haven't even been through a first quarter yet. But you could tell. I mean, you could tell just our meeting this morning that he had a little bit more pep in his step, and you can just tell. I was glad that. I mean, I communicate with the staff. I communicate with him throughout the game, and he wasn't. I mean, if it wouldn't went to overtime, it would have been. I mean, he would have obviously played it. But I was trying to really, at that point, all I was telling me, just keep it like at 36. That's what he's played most of the year. And then we'll see how he handles it tomorrow. But, yeah, I really try to keep it in the 34 range. But you're talking a few minutes, not that big of a deal.
Chase?
Scott, you've used center by committee throughout the season. Tonight, they had a lot of success collectively against Rudy Gobert. What do you think was the key, particularly for Lopez and Gafford?
Well, we've been doing that, ever since TB got hurt early in the season, and I think it's been pretty good. I mean, I've never done it before. I've never done this before, but I'm trying to figure out ways to get the best combinations, and it's definitely, trust me, it's tricky. It keeps me up at night throughout the day trying to figure it out, and then you got to factor in who's playing well with them, and foul trouble. But I kind of like them all. I mean, Gaff's obviously in a minute restriction, and Rolo, I mean, he's buckets down against the second line bigs, and they all give us a little bit different. Gafford gives us a lot of bit different, but his minutes and his efficiency has been really good because he keeps it simple.
You missed a few free throws late and you were kicking yourself about it, but just to get that, grind that out, and end a winning streak like that, 24 straight home games. I know you were part of the 17 game one that we had, back in 16-17. How big was that?
First praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's for the opportunity to be able to play a game that I love. But most part it's tough. I didn't know they had 24 straight wins at home until after the game. That's just a testament to them. And like you said, I've been a part of something like that a few years ago. We won 17 straight at home. It's an unbelievable feeling. You just feel like you just can't be beat at home. But granted, we played really well tonight. Aggressive on the defensive end and made a lot of things tough for them. This is a team that really first and 3 points attempted and first and 3 points made. A lot of guys shooting high 40s, 50s, from three. So we definitely had our hands full, but I love how we accepted all the challenges and made it tough for them.
I hope you like playing with Gafford so far.
Well, I haven't had a lob threat in my whole career. So I like the fact I just throw the damn ball up to the rim and he'll go get it, even if it's a horrible pass.
Chase?
Hey, Brad. Coach Brooks said that very early in this game you were telling him that you could exceed what was supposed to be a minutes restriction. So how did that go from your perspective, and just how did you feel coming back from the back tightness?
Well, if I'm the one that said I don't want minutes, I think that should let you know how I felt. But everything feels good. My body feels good. Yeah, I mean, I feel good early on. I didn't have any problems.
You seem like you have this energy about you, and guys love to play with you, or especially here in DC. What do you think you bring to a team, like with your athleticism and your ability to go up and pretty much catch everything. Brad said previously in this last press conference that he can just throw the ball anywhere, no matter if it's a bad pass, you go get it. Can you just kind of describe like what you deliver to a team, even though we know it, and also playing with guys like Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal who love playing on the court?
I mean, just really coming out and just I'm gonna take my mask off. I feel like y'all can't hear me, but just really just coming out and playing my game. You know, I've been an energy guy all my life. I just come out. I mean, I love the game of basketball. I'm gonna come out and just work my tail off as much as I possibly can. I got a defensive mindset first, and then I worry about offense second. I mean, like I said, the first time that I got to Washington, you can throw it to the moon and I'll bring it back down there. Other than that, I mean, I just come out and I play ball. I play hard, and you know, at the end of the day, I don't let anything really kind of like cloud my thoughts when I'm on the floor. I try to keep a positive mindset as much as I possibly can to be able to withstand, like, you know, the pressure that comes with the game. You know, being able to have that mental aspect to go in and not let anything phase you, because teams see that, and you know, they're wear and tear when it comes to, you know, down the stretch and stuff. So I just come in with a positive mindset. I just play my game, you know, get guys open and get myself open at the same time.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? The DMV is loaded with basketball talent. What I wanted to ask you is, what are your plans as far as getting GW back into the mix, as far as, you know, high school and AAU basketball in the area, so that players in the area will start looking more and more towards GW than going elsewhere?
Yeah, well, a passion that I have is recruiting and developing relationships. And so I've been fortunate to work in different places throughout the country. The DMV has always been a great place to recruit in. And so for us, those relationships that I already have, it's reconnecting, them knowing me, knowing my history, my time with Coach McEwen. When I would come back here and recruit, everybody already loved me because I worked for Coach McEwen. So that wasn't hard. But now I'm the leader of the program. And so I think just having those people believe in me, believe in this is an opportunity for, you know, their daughter, their student athlete, where they can be successful. I mean, from an academic standpoint, they're going to get exactly what they want, you know, for their daughters and coming to school here. And so it's going to be about the people. It's always about the people that you're going to be around every day. So, you know, we're going to let them know who we are, what we're about, growing young women. And I believe we're going to be able to keep those local players, you know, home.
Welcome to the Focus TV. Hope you guys enjoyed this a brief view of some of the pressers had lately, starting with the Wizards, knocking off Utah. Ray's going to talk about that a little bit later. And then George Washington basketball. And we're going to let Cardell get straight to that. We heard a question that he asked. And, just fill us in a little bit more on the latest news there. And then we'll get into, the Wizards and, got some Pittsburgh, DC United news, WNBA news, because this year's going by extremely fast, like we told you guys it would, and we're literally here. So, Cardell, what's the latest at GW?
Just had, they, as you said last episode, they hired Caroline McCombs, who had a great, successful run at Stony Brook. They actually made the tournament this year. She has a challenge in front of her, trying to get GW back to where they were a few years ago, where John Quill, Lauren Chase, Kara Washington, and that core group that had GW year in, year out in the top 25, and going to the tournament every year and definitely dominating the A10. She has she has a lot of work to do.
So
you're on mute.
Of course. I'm sure Cardell will be back to us soon. But Ray, just with the Wizards real quick, I know it's not going to take that long because we talked about it last night on Wizards Outlook, but, give everybody a brief synopsis of what we discussed last night.
Got a little bit of good news to share. The Wizards, they knocked off Utah 125-121. It's a good team win. You know, they got production from the top of the roster to the bottom. You know, they show footage of talking to Coach Brooks, Brad Beal, and Daniel Gafford in the post-game pressers. And, you know, I mean, it's you know, it's good to hear them talk about Gafford that way. You know, when people around the trade deadline, people only look for those big splashes and where more notable players get moved to. But a move like this shows you where Tommy earns his money. You know, of course, the Wizards really didn't have any assets to land anything huge. But you know, getting a guy like Gafford, who we saw kind of destroy them early in the season, come bring that to the team, which they sorely needed, and to see his effectiveness, you know, and not that much time on the floor, you know, it just makes you hopeful for the future. You know, he's just coming back off an injury, so he's still on minutes restriction. But you know, once he kind of rounds himself back into shape and gets his legs up under him, I mean, if you watched the game last night, you could see that he really hadn't missed a beat. You know, he picked up right where he left off. But you know, he just adds a new dynamic to the team, and it'll be extremely beneficial for them moving forward. You know, yeah, last night, of course, we talked about Russ. He had one of those good Westbrook games, you know, triple-double, 25, 14, and 14, 3 turnovers. You know, you can't ask for much more. And, of course, Bradley Beal, you know, did what he did as the league's leading scorer. So, yeah, some good news for once. Yeah, those are few and far between this year, man. But we're gonna celebrate the W's. They got the Kings tomorrow night. You know, they're in the midst of a West Coast road trip. So you know, hopefully they can keep the train moving. They're two games out of the play-in spot. So with a strong push, they can find themselves, you know, fighting to stay alive in the postseason.
You're on mute.
That's two tonight, Wilson.
Mute.
I'm struggling, man. Go ahead, let us, if you want to finish, about GW. No, you got cut off.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, I was just saying that she has a long road ahead. She has a challenge in front of her. Trying to get GW back to, you know, where they were a few years ago, top 25, going to the tournament every year, producing WNBA players. Let's call it what it is. I know John Quill was special, but still, you know, my question to her, and I feel like the key to getting back to that quicker than, you know, sooner than later, is, you know, getting the program back in touch with the AAU and high school programs in the area. I felt like they were kind of, with no disrespect to Rosati, I think they were disconnected during that period, man, because you rarely saw a player from the area that came here outside of a, you know, grad transfer, maybe a signing here and there. Back when GW was in the top 25 every year with John Quill and Lauren, those ladies leading the way, they had about 4 or 5 players from the area that were all met playing here. And people forget John Quill and Lauren, they came from Riverdale Baptist, which definitely at that time was like the Oak Hill of, you know, girls high school basketball. You know what I mean? So I know Diane Richardson and Coach Ed Towson was an assistant, and she was also the former head coach at Riverdale Baptist. So obviously they came with that connection, but still, that's part of the recruiting. You got to form a great staff, and you got to get connected to the AAU high school coaches in the area, man. It's just too much talent. You know, like I looked at the top 100. You know, some of the 4 3-star girls that's coming out, none of them even had GW on their list. So, but they had other schools in the area, obviously Maryland, the BCUs, and, you know, those type of programs and whatnot. They had those on the list, Georgetown as well. So, you know, she has a lot of work ahead of her, and that's why, you know, my question, you know, get right to the point. What was her plan for recruiting? She didn't hesitate. She said she's gonna get in the mix fairly quickly. So we'll see what she do with it. Also, you know, McCombs will define the success of GW. She said controlling the controllables. We're going to start by digging in with our current players on the roster. And then obviously we're going to add in with recruiting this spring, during the summertime and into the fall. We're going to look at all the little things we can do. We're going to build our culture, which is so important. We're going to lay a foundation here. So if we want to be successful, it'll be by doing all the little things the right way from the very beginning. And lastly, getting back to the NCAA tournament, she said it took us a while to get to the top of our point, top point of our program, Stony Brook. I think, again, we did that. I have a blueprint for that. It's just laying the foundation. It's a process, and it's going to take time. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But again, I think this is a story program. So we're recruiting to a place that people know. There's history. There's tradition. There's banners. This is an amazing academic institution with all of the things we talked about. This is a very attractive place for young women to come and live for 4 years and experience greatness. I think we will be able to do that. I don't know what the timeline is, what that looks like, but I'm definitely confident that this is a special place and that we will be able to get banners here for our women. So obviously she's very optimistic. Obviously she actually was a former assistant a long time ago here at GW. So she's definitely familiar. So I think she understands what's ahead of her more so than someone who hasn't been here before. But she brings the pedigree. Obviously, you get Stony Brook to the NCAA tournament. That's not an easy task as well. So she has the know-how and pedigree to understand how to build programs up and, get them back in the mix. We want to being amongst the top in the country. So, it's going to be fun to see what she do over the next few years.
It's something we mention all the time, both on the men's and the women's side, how much the transfer portal has played a role in college basketball the last couple of years and obviously going forward. With her pedigree and where she's come from, feel like that'll kind of help her out in terms of, just at least in the transfer portal side of this, while she kind of gets her footing and getting recruiting going.
It's tough. I mean, she can. I know there's players out there, but it's tough because GW don't been on the academic side. That's just, other institutions, if you're an athlete, they may bend a little bit for you, your grades and your test scores. GW like, nah, if you ain't up to par, you just can't come in. It is. And, in a sense, that's commendable, but in the other sense, it hurts them. You know what I mean? They don't even recruit JUCOs. They don't look at, they can't maximize all the resources out there to keep a strong program like other schools can. So, really they just got to go from high school and deal with transfers. And then again, they got to qualify. So, and normally on the girls' side, then you don't really have that issue with the grades. Normally girls handle the business. Unfortunately, us that, we kind of slacking. It is what it is, man. But we'll see what she doing. We'll see what she do with it.
All right. I know Ray talked about the Wizards a little bit. Cardell, Octavia, did you want to add anything to the Wizards discussion, or it's just something that can continue? I don't know, tomorrow night with Wizards Outlook, because I feel like we're knocking that out each and every other day, or twice in the same day, losing track of days with this compressed schedule. But we want to ask you guys before we move on.
I'll just say that when Ray said that they were like 2 games out of the play-in, I really had to go look to see what that looks like. And I was like, oh, they really are. Because I'll be completely honest, I had no idea that I guess it's the new age thing. They're doing this play-in tournament. I don't really know how I feel about it. So I guess I'm going to have to wait until it happens this year. But yeah, it's good. I mean, good for them. If they can make a push, you never know what can happen at this point.
See how people act when their team starts winning? See how people act?
I was like, oh, okay.
Man, look, man, I'm with Cuban and Luka, man. Like, this was just dumb. Probably Cuban walked away. Like,
I don't get it.
It ain't pro them
like,
man.
I saw somebody.
You had 72 games, dog. Like,
it made sense with the bubble. Like, okay, because people's season got cut short or whatever. But I don't get it now. So I'm just like,
and that's all it is.
Consolation tournament.
They riding away, and then they really broke it down. I thought it was like, okay, 9th or 10th will play, and try to get into something. Like, it's not like that. It's like the winner of the 9th and 10th game will advance, and then in the 7th and 8th will advance. It's something weird. It's not what people think, man. Like I once they explain it, I just like this is just look. If you don't win enough games during the season to qualify 1-8, you don't need to be in the playoffs. See, this is where we are as a society. Everybody need a trophy. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's just what it is, man. And in the odds of the 9th seed going on a run and beating and upsetting all these teams to actually do some damage to justify this is unlikely. It's impossible. I'm gonna say it's impossible. And I'm an optimistic dude, but nah, it's impossible. Like they're not going to lower tier teams going to the Sixers, the Bucks. No, Miami, whoever's up there, no, they're not doing that. So
there's no point.
Why are we playing games?
Like you guys said, they had 72 opportunities to decide if they wanted to be a playoff team. What you did with your 72, that's on you. That's entirely your business. You had 72 games to decide whether you want to be a playoff team or a lottery team. And if you choose to be somewhere in the middle, that's also your decision. You get to control all of that. So, yeah, look, man. Fun times, right? We're going to take our very first break of the night. When we get back, Octavia and myself give you guys a week 1 update from the Pitts League. You're watching the Focus TV. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Focus TV. Remember, literally last week, we had Cardell Pettis call in from the opening day of the Pitts League. So today we got, the week 1 results. Games are taking place on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Octavia, this week Tuesday is yours, and I'll follow up with Thursday.
Perfect. So before I start, I just wanted to say one thing because I said I had a quick announcement. I would just like to formally thank the 49ers for taking Nate Sudfeld and signing him to a 1-year deal. I appreciate it so much that you have let him go back home to California and all is well for him. Thank you. So I'm so proud. I couldn't wait till Tuesday.
Are you done? I didn't want to listen to Octavia. Excuse me?
She really went there.
Excuse me? Look, man, I had a feeling. I didn't. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, you want to know what the worst part is? The day it happened, little group chat we got on Twitter, I had both of them. I know it's coming.
That's my point, Rodney.
Point.
That's my point, Rodney. That's how trash the Eagles are. They set my man up.
Whatever. He could go. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You want to know what? If the price I got to pay to get one of the 2 youngsters I'd like for the next 10 years is Nate Sudfeld being on that team and James leaving, I'll pay the price, dog. Bring me one of them 2 young men that I would like starting under center for the next 10 to 15 years. I'm cool. But I'm not surprised, Octavia. Octavia, well played. Well played. Well played. That's all I have to say. Well played. Well played. And I hope that you guys have a very successful draft because this will be returned. But well played. Well played.
Look, I don't care if we completely fail in the draft. I don't care at this point. He's gone. Anyway, so like we stated, the Pitts League started last week for their spring session, and I have your Tuesday results. From week 1, All-Star Investments beat Most Hated 68-64. Christina Jackson had 35 points to lead All-Star Investments, and Darrell Armstrong had 30 in the loss. Deadstock DMV beat Quiet as Kept 58-52. Deadstock, was led by Dominique Phillips, 18 points, and Antonio Sherrod led Quiet as Kept with 27 points. Dream Team beat CNC Investments, 69-57. Travis Berry led the way with 30 points for the winning side, and Jerome Pedicolas had 19 for CNC. Black Power ran it up on No TME ENT 93-48. Sheesh. Led by Danielle Graham's 16 points, and Ali Hosseini led Not Me ENT. Excuse me, that's what it was. Not Me ENT with 20 points. Hometown favorites beat Rome Reloaded 70-65. Rob McKenzie had 19 for the winners, and Willie Sutherland had a game high of 20 points in the loss. Baseline beat Team J 74-70 with balanced scoring for both sides and a very, very close contest with this game. Nella's group beat bottom of the 5 54-42, led by Steve Perry and Miles Gillette, 16 points each. And Pierre Bland led bottom of the 5 with 13. On to the next team. Team Pressure beat Silver Mystics 77-70, led by Zach. I'm not going to say her last name because I will butcher it. With 19 points, and Daryl Sanders led Silver Mystics with 23. Team Soul Runners held off VA Magic 59-56. Mokhtar, I'm not going to say that last name either, I apologize, with 13 points to lead the way, and BK Ash had 18 points for VA Magic. Who got last? Beat No Mercy 68-59. Herschel Grant had 27 in the win, and Thayer Vance had 32 in the loss. It's tough. Sam's Ballers gave Team BK an opening day loss with a 71-42 victory. Jamal Brown, J-Dub, had 17 points for Sam Ballers. Darian Barnes led Team BK with 10 points. And last but not least, TSJ Elite beat Running Gun 62-45. Daniel Winston led TSJ with 15 points. And Michael Habit led the team with 15 in the loss. So as you can see, there are a lot of games going on. Hopefully you guys get to see them soon. You're on mute.
3 for 3.
You got to fix the mute problem, dog.
Hey, look, man, it's gotten progressively worse since the Sudfield news. I can't help it. I'm going through some things at the moment. I'm practicing muting my TV for worst case scenarios. Please work with me. All right, Dream Team beat Mosaic 76-55. Tim Ellison led the way with 22 points. Fabian Baird had 21 in the loss. Team J beat Who Got Last 83-80. Darius Holmes had 17 in the win. James Kirksey had a game high 29 in a loss. VA Magic beat Rome Reloaded 80-64. BK Ash led the way with 19. Andre Fox had 20 for Rome Reloaded. Team Soul Runners beat Run and Gun 87-83. Ed Drew had 18 in the win. A game high 37 from Julian DeBose, as his team fell short by 4. That had to be tough. Got TSJ Elite beat Sam's Baller 65-58. Lucky Jones led the way with 26 points for TSJ. Chris Braswell led Sam's Ballers with 18 points. We got Black Power beat CNC Investments 73-53. D'Angelo Vaughn had 10 points to lead a very balanced effort. Robert Harris led CNC with 19 points. Team BK beat Run and Gun 72-57. Elijah Maynard had 18 points. Julian DeBose, feels like I'm going to say this name a couple times. I'm interested to see where he ends the season. Scoring department. He had 21 in this loss, but I know it's tough because that's 2 losses already in the opening week. So they got to get that turned around. No Mercy beat Not Me ENT 68-61. Thayer Vance led the way with 21. Ali Hansi had 28 for Not Me ENT. Quiet as Kept held off bottom of the 5, 62-60. Antonio Sherrod had 22 for Quiet as Kept. Pierre Bland had 16 for bottom of the 5. Nellis Group beat Baseline 63-57. Steve Perry led Nellis Group with 18. Troy Dockett had 16 for Baseline. Deadstock DMV beat Silver Mystic 66-54. Dominic Phillips, game high 26 points. Jamil Ludd had 18 for Silver Mystics. Last but not least, hometown favorites beat Team Pressure in a very close one, 60-59. Rob McKenzie had 13 points for the winning side. Daniel Alexander had a game high 16 in the loss. As far as the WNBA goes, man, they've been busy. New jerseys, social media went crazy about that. It's about time that they got new jerseys. I have a couple favorites personally, but talk about that another day. WNBA schedule came out today. Opening day is May 14th. Got 4 games that day, all right? The 7 p.m. matchups, Indiana Fever taking on New York Liberty at the Barclays Center. Then we got the Atlanta Dream hosting the Connecticut Sun. The 9 p.m. game is Phoenix, Minnesota. It's going to be in Minnesota at the Target Center. And 10:30, we got the Los Angeles Sparks hosting the Dallas Wings. The Mystics, they don't play on opening day, but they open their season May 15th when they host the Chicago Sky. So, we were talking during the Within the Madness segment with both of those digital programs we had, on the men's and the women's side of the NCAA tournament with the selection committees choosing violence. I like the first couple days already with the WNBA schedule. I look forward to getting through the rest of it. But we got some pretty good matchups to start the first 2 days. I know we'll all get a chance to look at this going forward. But you guys have any initial thoughts just as the WNBA season's about to start? And then we also got the draft literally in 2 days.
Right. This season's gonna be interesting because of the Olympics. They gotta take like a month break, so I want to see who's gonna be mentally sharp enough to stay locked in during that break. Because you can be on fire in the first half if you come out that break slacking. All that first half work was for nothing, or you could be down in the first half and come out on locked in and make a run. So this gonna be a unique year. It's really going to tell a lot about a couple teams and players as well about who stays locked in and who wins, man. And I think the league just got deeper. A couple years ago when the Mystics won, I think it was only probably 2 or 3 teams that legit had a chance, and that's minus Seattle, who was injured at the time. Same thing last year. A lot of players sat out or were injured. I think everybody pretty much will be back, outside like Alicia Clark, who got hurt overseas. But I think for the most part, everybody will be back. A lot of teams are deep, so it's gonna be hell this season.
Octavia, Ray, any initial thoughts as we have a start date for the WNBA?
For me, I'm just happy that it's starting. Like, I'm gonna say, like, the us not having the NCAA tournament last year kind of threw me off. So with the NCAA tournament happening, it kind of got me back hype again. Not saying, it got me hype, and it's like it rolls right into this again. I'm excited to see all the girls that are going to, get drafted, that's going to start playing this year. I'm just excited for it to finally start. And also to piggyback off what you said, the new jerseys across the league are fire. Like, pretty much almost every one of them that I've seen, I like. So definitely well overdue. I'm glad it's finally happened. Get them, some new things, some new threads. It's nice to see, but I'm just overall ready for it. Like, I just want to see them compete. I feel like, the last season that they had in the WNBA was kind of like, not 100%. Everybody wasn't at full strength with people opting out because of COVID. I'm interested to see those people who opted out, them coming back. I'm just all around just ready for it to start.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, man, I'm excited as well. I think this is going to be a huge year for the league in general. Of course, they're celebrating the 25th anniversary, and it's just a lot of buzz around the WNBA right now in women's basketball, period. And I just want to see that momentum continue to grow. I was on a call earlier with Kathy Engelbert. She did express some lightweight concern about the Olympic break and and just kind of having that dead stop in the middle of the season. They got to deal with it every 4 years or so. But she's still optimistic, and they also doing the Commissioner's Cup this year. It'll be the inaugural year for that. So they just got a lot going on, and it's great to see just the general interest being poured into that league because as everybody knows, it's just an ongoing discussion about the wage gap and what they can do and things like that. So it is good to see that the league is kind of getting a little more recognition and advertisement. So yeah, man, I'm just excited, ready for them to get started, ready for the draft on Thursday, and I think it's just going to be a big year for them.
All right, and we did mention the
Oh, we in the
draft. So
arena.
before yes,
Was that?
yes.
I said, I hope we're in the arena. Shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
I'm
they,
tired of virtual life.
yeah, they said they're gonna have limited fans. So maybe I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do for media, but yeah, we. I'm tired of this Zoom stuff, man.
Man, I'm definitely I never thought I'd miss that walk from the parking lot to ESA. I miss it.
100-degree heat, yeah, and 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
Sweat by the time, yeah. But I appreciate it now.
Right. It's so sad, man. You used to hate the walks. You park it. It just felt like the sun was like, got you. You really want to go? But yeah, definitely miss it, man. Even just man, just the whole process, like it's crazy. Definitely miss it. I know we mentioned the draft a couple times. I would be very remiss if I didn't mention last night, Cardell, Ray, and myself took some time, knocked out a 2021 WNBA Mock Draft. Look, if you guys follow us on social, it's really easy to find. You can get over to Finest Mag YouTube page, My Mind on Sports YouTube page as well. We went through all 3 rounds. We didn't stop at just the first round. You know, when we try to do something, we did it. Went through all 3 rounds. I feel like maybe there's only a handful of times where it was like a 3-way that everybody agreed on to pick. So it'll be fun. Go check that out. Get you some early prep or possibly learn about some of these prospects before Thursday night when the official draft does happen. Before we get to the 9-4-50 breakdown, for some of you Mystics fans, we wanted to start off by giving you an early look at Tina Charles since you missed seeing her play last year. Some clips from USA Women's National Training Camp. Got Tina Charles, some Sylvia Fowles footage in there, along with Angel McCautry. That will be followed by the 9-4-50 breakdown. Jamal Hayward this week. He have something very, very special for you. It's a breakdown of Hakeem Olajuwon double shoulder shake and the options off it. Again, it's a breakdown of Hakeem Olajuwon double shoulder shake and the options off it. That will be followed by our second break, and then we'll be back, talk a little DC United, some rapid fire. You're watching the Focus TV.
movement and some fakes here out of the mid post as well as the low post. Bigger guards can utilize this. Post players obviously can utilize this. So we're going to take a page out of Hakeem Olajuwon's book. You guys know your history. He's one of the greatest big men to ever play basketball. Footwork was immaculate. So one thing that taking out his pace that he did really good at was his cells. So shoulder movements was really good. Whether he fake middle, turn baseline, or did the opposite, fake baseline, turn middle, or the double shake, shake, here, step through, whatever. So a couple different things I'm going to show you here. Okay, with the shakes, it's not just the upper body. Also, you got to have a wide base here to sell the movement. Okay, so with my double shake, I'm moving here, and then I'm moving here. But it's not just my shoulders, like I said, my whole torso and my hips as well. Also, here, okay? Now, once I catch here, keep here, I can turn in shot fake, or I can be here, turn in shot fake, step through on either one. So, here's some options here. Here, shot fake, step through, finish. Here, shot fake, step through, fade, shot. Now we can add a dribble with it. Here, step through. Bunch of different footworks here with the double shake. Today we're going to work on some body movement and some fakes here out of the mid post as well as the low post. Bigger guards can utilize this. Post players obviously can utilize this. So we're going to take a page out of Hakeem Olajuwon's book. You guys know your history. He's one of the greatest big men to ever play basketball. Footwork was immaculate. So one thing that taking out his pace that he did really good at was his cells. So shoulder movements was really good. Whether he fake middle, turn baseline, or did the opposite, fake baseline, turn middle, or the double shake, shake, here, step through, whatever. So a couple different things I'm going to show you here. Okay, with the shakes, it's not just the upper body. Also, you got to have a wide base here to sell the movement. Okay, so with my double shake, I'm moving here, and then I'm moving here. But it's not just my shoulders, like I said, my whole torso and my hips as well. Also, here, okay? Now, once I catch here, keep here, I can turn in shot fake, or I can be here, turn in shot fake, step through on either one. So, here's some options here. Here, shot fake, step through, finish. Here, shot fake, step through, fade, shot. Now we can add a dribble with it. Here, step through. Bunch of different footworks here with the double shake.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. And as always, just want to say thank you to Jamal Hayward. Quick DC United update. Look, the 2021 MLS season, it starts this week. DC United will host New York City FC in the opener. One of the things I'm looking forward to is, one of those things leading up to seasons, and we've had this discussion amongst ourselves across different sports, just like, leading up to a season. There's only so much you could talk about until the game actually starts. And that's literally what it is when you get a new coach in anything. You can have words and platitudes and all that stuff sounds great. Finally get a chance to see his style, his brand of soccer that he wants his team to play, both from an aesthetic and tactical standpoint this weekend. So that's what I'm definitely looking forward to the most. All we know so far is that he wants his team to play an attacking, pressing style. And, one of the things he made clear was he didn't feel that at this point to start the season, they're up to the level of fitness he would like them to be, because his system, his style is going to demand them to be at the super peak of their fitness levels. Because pretty much pressing in soccer, like, man, you're chasing the ball, you're trapping, you're jumping lanes, and again, that feels so much bigger than a basketball court, or so it's just a whole lot of energy, and you might not get the ball, and then you still got to continue running. So again, I'm eager to see how they look, man. So that's what I look forward to this weekend. And I look forward to coming back next week and talking with you, sharing with you both the result and what I took away from the season opener. It's 8 p.m. this Saturday at Audi Field. Cardell, rapid fire, sir. What you got for us?
Oh, boy. I guess the trash talking starting up because the playoffs is near. Ben Simmons was asked on the Nets who they play. He said there's only one ball and you got to play defense too. Shots fired. The 76ers and Nets, they're running neck and neck for first place in the Eastern Conference. They're scheduled to play tomorrow. They could meet again in the playoffs, obviously, and possibly for years to come. When they asked Ben Simmons about it, a potential rivalry, he said rivalry. He said, they keep that same team, definitely, but it's going to be hard to do that. But we're going for the past champs, the Lakers. They were the ones who won the championship, so you got to give them respect. Obviously, Brooklyn has a lot of talent, but at the end of the day, there's only one ball, and you've got to play defense too. Just what are your thoughts on what Mr. Ben Simmons said regarding the Nets? Start with you, Octavia.
He not lying. He's not lying. I think that part of it is the fact that, yes, they have so much talent. Brooklyn does. To me, it's just so crazy. Like the fact that when the season started, everybody was talking about the fact that it was KD, Kyrie, and DeAndre Jordan. Nobody has seen DeAndre Jordan since. So that also just attests to how much talent they have. He's out of the rotation now. They have LaMarcus Aldridge, they have Blake Griffin, they have Sexton, who's doing great. Like, they have a lot of pieces. Again, like Ben Simmons says, there is only one ball, and at the same time, the three stars they have, KD, Kyrie, and James, although I don't foresee it being a huge issue, but they still haven't played a lot of games together. I think the max I heard was maybe 7 games this season they've all played in. So it's kind of, I would still like to see them play together a little bit more. Of course, we know KD and Kyrie and James all play together, for USA Basketball. KD and James play together in OKC. So that's why I don't think it'll be that difficult for them. And just from the little games that they have played with each other, you can see that they kind of know how to play with each other, and they know how to play off and whose night it is or whatever you may have. But, he's not lying. It's going to be tough to keep that type of team together for, a long period of time unless a lot of people are taking pay cuts, even though we know people are taking pay cuts. But for how long? So I kind of understand what he's saying. And I understand what he's saying that, the Nets, yeah, they're a great team, but, we're looking forward to try to get to the playoff, to the championship, and potentially playing against the Lakers because they are the defending champs. So I get what he's saying there. So I really don't have any issues with what he's saying. I feel like he didn't tell no lies, told all facts. But at the same time, I just hate when teams that haven't really proved much in the playoffs kind of start to trash talk a little bit. We've been waiting for the Philadelphia 76ers for I don't know how long. We've been trusting this process for a while. And it's finally come to fruition. Like, I see it. And it only took Doc Rivers to come there and do something. I'm just saying. But I just want to see them both. I want to see the Sixers actually prove that. We've heard talk for so many years at this point. I don't really care to hear it anymore. I just want to see y'all do it or not. But I get what he's saying.
Raymond?
I love it, man. Nothing wrong with a little healthy banter, but yeah, that you do got to play defense at some point. And the Nets struggles on that end this season have been well documented, but they are a great team. In regards to the about them saying it's only one ball, like Octavia said, when they in a limited time they have been on the court together. I know it's a small sample size, but it didn't look like that was going to be an issue. They mesh well. They can play off each other well, and that's just a lot of firepower, man. But I don't know what people expect him to say. Like he said what I think any competitor would say, and hopefully they do get to meet up in the playoffs and give them a chance to back it up. But it ain't sweet when you get in front of that, man. So I hope he's up to the challenge as I expect he will be. And Philly, they're coming up on their time to start to maximize this potential. This is the best Embiid has played to this point in his career. Doc Rivers is utilizing Ben Simmons in a way that Brett Brown wasn't able to, and Philly looks good. I know me, you, and Wilson have talked about that being the team that we think will give the Nets the most trouble. So I definitely want to see them match up in the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure if they do, Brooklyn will have this quote posted up in the locker room. So it just make for a better series.
Wilson.
I won't take too much stock in it. It's as of right now with the two top teams in the Eastern Conference from a record standpoint. Someone's gonna have to lock down number one seed. The one ball thing, I think that's something where I don't really take too serious. The defensive thing, it's something you, myself, Ray, a lot of people talked about. At some point, they're going to have to play defense to get what they want this season. But man, the Sixers are really good. I have no issue with Ben talking. It's not like he's talking and their team's like looking up at the Nets in the standings or something. Like that's that group at the top of the East. So it's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, I'm with it. He's one of the best defenders in the league. He's going to have to deal with one of those lethal dudes, more than likely KD. Unless Doc switch it up with strategy, put him on Harden or something, or maybe Kyrie or whatnot. But it is what it is. We talk all the time about this area not being competitive. That's a competitive comment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you're not really worried about them. We worried about the champs. That's what our eyes on. We trying to get the championship. They're not the champs. So we see y'all kind of giving them the championship already, but they ain't did nothing yet. So they in the same boat we are. So, but no, we not comparing ourselves to them. We looking at the Lakers, and that's what it is. So we'll see what's up in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And it start tomorrow. We'll start sowing little seeds. Let them know when we play. We'll know what little jab here and there in the regular season. But then the playoffs, if they meet, that's when it's go time. So I don't have no problem with it. I would like to see it more. See it more from players actually producing and teams producing. How about that? I don't want to hear
from what's sad is
times to be trash talking.
Gosh.
Hey, look, what's sad, because Ray tried to pull this to a really bad place. What's sad is that you had to make that disclaimer, add that on to that statement. And Ray, we're gonna prevent you from taking us to that place with that comment. We already got Octavia over here with her Sudfield stuff. Your Bertans comment is about even. It's up there. Like it's up there, sir. It's up there. But again, I want to thank y'all for hanging with us tonight. Don't forget, WNBA Draft on Thursday. Do not forget. Please tune in. It's gonna be a fun class. Interested to see what teams end up doing. One of the things Cardell mentioned a couple times during last night's mock draft is some picks could be for sale. We'll see what happens. The other thing, get over to findersmag.com. I'm on sports.com as well. And lastly, Wizards Outlook. Got that this week. Have some DC United stuff this week as well. Next Tuesday is going to be even more busy because we're going to be a week closer to this year's NFL draft, where Octavia's team is going to try to find the new Nate Sudfeld. So we will see.
No, we're not.
We will definitely see. You are. But we want to thank you guys again. Don't forget, Friday nights, 10 p.m., BCTV. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you guys soon.